Hi everyone, Becky and Buddy here from the Canine Nation Paws on Tour. I lost track a little bit of what day I'm on, so I'm sorry, I'll put it in the title when I figure it out afterwards. So today's been an absolutely jam-packed day. Super early start. We were up at 5:45 this morning and we made our way from here in Fareham, where I've been visiting my auntie and my mum, across to Southampton, where we were getting the Red Funnel ferry. And really smooth getting on board and everything. Red Funnel had done us a courtesy trip so that we could go and check out and do a review of their dog friendly lounge. So it was very, very generous of them, and I can't say enough good things about it. Such a smooth crossing, you know, it's amazing how fast they get the cars on and off the ferries. Really amazing to see so many people travelling with their dogs. There's like a designated dog lounge, and it's just really relaxed. You know that everyone in there is in there knowing that there's going to be dogs there, so if one barks and they set a couple more off, it's absolutely fine. Everyone understands. But he was actually quite relaxed. You can take them out and walk them around the deck as well, so if they prefer to be outside you can do that, but Buddy was quite content inside, to be honest. There's like a water bowl in there for them. They ask that people don't let the dogs sit on the seats. I let Buddy sit on my knee on the seat, but not on the actual leather of the seat itself. And the crossing took about an hour. So amazing, like I said, couldn't say enough good things about them. Very smooth. It's the first time I'd ever been on a ferry at 35 years old, so good experience for me. And I was really excited to go over to the Isle of Wight because part of my family actually originates from there. My mum was born in Ventnor on the Isle of Wight. I'd never been, so it was really cool to go over there. And so we got there and we landed in the dock about, God, what time is it, 9 o'clock? And we were quite hungry because we've been up since 5:45. So we made our way straight to Ventnor, actually, to the Esplanade over there. And when we put our message out in the local press that we were coming over, quite a lot of people messaged in to tell us about all the amazing things you could do on the Isle of Wight that was dog friendly. And one business that had wrote into us was the Golden Sands Cafe in Ventnor on the Esplanade itself. A guy called Kyle who owns it. So we went in and had a delicious cooked breakfast in there, and it was perfect. It was a quiet little cafe. There was a couple of other dogs in there as well with their owners, and we had a really nice cooked breakfast, a decent cup of coffee and some fruit juice, and you're literally stone's throw from the beach. So as you sat there having your breakfast, you can hear the waves crashing on the beach, and it was really relaxing. Could have stayed there for hours whiling away the time with a book and just chilling out, but we had to press on because we had a really busy day. But couldn't recommend Golden Sands Cafe enough. Really good. And Kyle and his sister Paige were really welcoming, great customer service and super friendly, posing for a picture with Buddy. So from there, I have to get this right because the day is such a blur. We went on to the Isle of Wight Pearl, which is on a different part of the island. I'm trying to remember which part, and I can't off the top of my head. All the accurate information will be in the blog when I get around to writing it up. But again, the Isle of Wight Pearl had reached out to us and said, you know, we're dog friendly, would you like to come and have a look? Which was brilliant. So we went, and it's a big sort of like jewellery showroom showcasing all the different pearls that they have there, and they offered us a free masterclass. So a guy called Liam did a masterclass with us, and I was fascinated. I never knew there was so much that went into pearls, and the natural ones, the artificially made ones, so not fake ones, but real pearls that were artificially made in the first instance, how they were formed, the different types of pearls, where they originated from, sort of Japan or Tahiti and things like that. And yeah, it was fascinating. I loved it. Really interesting. Buddy was really patient whilst we did that. He just kind of sat and chilled out a bit. There were some other doggies walking around the showroom as well. It wasn't just us. And then we went into their Pearl Cafe, which again is dog friendly, and had a couple of cups of coffee. And then I tried the Pick a Pearl. So they have sort of like a water feature, and in it they have real freshwater pearls, and you pay 28 quid and you get to pick your own pearl, and you don't know what you're going to get. It could be any colour, it could be any size. They're all, I can't remember the name, Akoya pearls. That could be wrong. I'll make sure I get it right in the blog, but they're all real natural certain types of pearls, so you know you're guaranteed to get something. And there was a family in front of me in the queue, and the young lad that did it fished out one. Bearing in mind it's 28 quid, he fished out one that was worth £110. The guy who was doing it was actually quite surprised, because they open it in front of you and then they measure it, and then they check sort of the quality of it, whether it's I think it's called like a signature quality or a crown quality, which is the best you can get. And this was a crown quality. It was absolutely perfect. And it was a size 8, which was really big. So this lad got one that was £110. So he was absolutely, you know, over the moon with that. I got one 6.5, and it was a perfect one. Mine was worth 35 quid, which is still a profit on the £28, but it wasn't about that. It was just the novelty of, I now have my own freshwater pearl, and you get to keep the shell as well. You can have it made up into a jewellery fitting, but I didn't on this occasion. I just kept it sort of naturally in the shell. So that was really cool, just like really different type of experience. And, you know, if you're going with the family, then you can take your dog there. It's just, you know, especially if it's a rainy visit when you go, it's a nice indoor activity that you can do for all the family and the dog. And it's right on the edge of the cliffs, and there's a couple of big fields either side. So because Buddy had been on the ferry and then in the car, we actually got to let him have a run off on the field next door, which was quite nice, and he got rid of some excess energy. Excuse me. And then from there we went to God's Hill, and we went to the model village. And again, this is something else that had been recommended to us that was dog friendly, and it was amazing. It wasn't even that expensive in. I think it was something like £4 each, something like that, and dogs were free. And it's a perfectly scaled replica of various parts of the island. So they pick the little towns and they replicate certain streets or features in it, and it's amazing. It's so accurate, and I took some really funny pictures of Buddy sort of sat next to some of the different buildings, and someone put on Instagram that it looked like Dogzilla, and it was just really funny, like a bit of a novelty. But the skill that's gone into building some of those replica, like all the trees are almost like bonsai versions of big evergreen trees, so they look like proper big evergreens but miniature scale. So again, really cool, you know, loads of families there, kids, other dogs. I'd say it was maybe like we weren't going around that slowly. We were stopping, taking pictures and things like that. I'd say it was maybe like a half hour, 45-minute attraction, depending on if you want to stop and have a little nosy at the gift shop and go to the cafe, like the little hot tea room thing that's there. You could probably make it a little bit longer, but for us it was about a 45-minute attraction. But it was great. We loved it. It was great fun. And then from there, sorry I'm rapidly going through it all, but there was just so much we did today. And from there we went to a different part of the island again and visited a pub called Off the Rails, which has just won an award for being the most dog friendly something. Again, I'll put the accurate information in the blog. But it was really frustrating because we kind of hadn't eaten anything since breakfast at 10 o'clock. We thought, right, I knew it was only open until 4, and it was about 3:10 when we got there. And I thought, right, we can share a sandwich between us, it'll be nice and quick, and I can get the content and take all the pictures and everything. And we got there, I should say, my mum, my auntie and me and Buddy, and they said they'd stopped serving food at 3 o'clock and they were only doing cake. So I was a little bit disappointed. Obviously it's not their fault, I should have checked the website, but everyone had said how dog friendly it was, but none of us wanted anything sweet. Like, we were all pretty desperate for something savoury and proper for lunch. So we didn't actually end up staying there and having anything, which was such a shame. I managed to get a few pictures, and I'll put some information in the blog about it, because everyone, like loads of people, when I sort of were chatting to them on the ferry and stuff, were raving about this pub, saying how dog friendly it was. So it's a bit of a shame we didn't get to go this time. I'm sure it is absolutely wonderful, but I can't give it a true and honest review, having not actually sort of eaten there or experienced the service myself. I can just show sort of the pictures that we took, and it looked like a lovely setting by a disused railway. And yeah, there were lots of people there with their dogs and stuff, so I'm sure it does live up to the hype. And then by that point, I'll be honest, come sort of like 4, half 4, we were just absolutely shattered. So we decided to go grab the ferry back. Again, really smooth crossing on the way back. We met a lovely family who we were chatting to with their dog Murphy. yeah, they were just absolutely lovely. And then we were joking about how everyone remembers the dogs' names and not the family's names. And I remember that the gentleman we were talking to was Nick. I remembered Murphy's name. But yeah, so I had a lovely chat with them, and then we got home, and then we grabbed fish and chips for tea, which was yummy. So it's been such a busy day, but I absolutely love the Isle of Wight. I wish I'd been there longer. I'm glad I didn't take the wagon. My mum drove in her car, and I'm glad, because I think going on the ferry in the mini Bago and some of the windy roads on the island would have been a little bit stressful for me. And I only have one passenger seatbelt here, so my mum and my auntie couldn't have come with me. So it was so nice to go and spend the day there, and I think it'll be somewhere that I definitely go back to in the future. Especially, the fact that my mum was born there, so dog friendly. I think when we were talking to that family on the way back, they said in the 3 years that they've been going there, because they have a holiday home there, there's only ever been one place where they've not been allowed to take their dog in that was a proper restaurant. So for 3 years of holidays, 2-3 weeks a year, that's pretty impressive. So I think so far, overall, as a whole place, not individual places like individual businesses, but as a whole place, I would say the Isle of Wight is definitely in the running for the most dog friendly place that we've come across on our road trip around the UK. To be confirmed at the end of the trip, of course. But yeah, even though the weather was mixed, I loved the Isle of Wight. I'm so glad we got to go. I'm really grateful to everyone who showed us kindness today. Particular shout out to Red Funnel Ferries and to the Isle of Wight Pearl for their invitations to sort of sample their businesses properly and to be able to review them. Brilliant day all round. So yeah, I don't think I'll be long out of bed tonight. As you can see, Buddy is already shattered. He was such a good boy on the ferry and stuff, really well behaved. He's settling so much faster when we go into restaurants and cafes and stuff now. Before this road trip, he just would have been, constantly looking around, sort of sniffing, barking if anything came near him. And now he just comes in and he just chills out and sleeps on the floor. So I think the trip's doing him a world of good in raising his tolerance level to things as well. And it definitely means that when we go home and start our normal life again, it'll make it so much easier for me to just take him places with me in the future. So it's just an added little bonus. So yeah, I'll leave you with that. It's quite a long one tonight. I apologise. There were so many wonderful things to say. I didn't want to cut it short. I wanted to do it justice. And we will check in with you again tomorrow night, hopefully. In the meantime, I'll keep reminding you, don't forget to check out our website. And if you have an Apple iOS phone, don't forget you can download our app for free, completely free to all dog owners. You can build your own little profile and start looking for walks and dog products and services in your area. So hope you enjoyed, and I will catch up with you all again soon. This is Becky and Buddy for Canine Nation. Thanks, bye.